Hi guys, welcome back to Herky the Cavalier's channel. Today I'm going to talk about my eye surgery. This may not be dog related, but it is something that's definitely been life-changing for me already, even though it's been just a few days. So I really wanted to talk more in detail about this, and hopefully it can change the vision of somebody else out there. I put a little question box on Instagram just to guide the conversation and to really go in depth about this surgery. So let's go back in time and see what my condition actually was. So I have been wearing glasses since I was a kid. As soon as like elementary school, I think I was 6 or 7 years old. So it's been almost 30 years that I've been wearing glasses. I have myopia, and through the years my condition always worsened, and I think it's pretty common for myopia to progress and to stabilize only once you reach adulthood. In my 30s, I really got hyper myopia, and my prescription got up to like -10, 11 or something. So I've always worn glasses. I wore contact lenses for about 20 years now. So in my early teens, I think I started wearing contacts. As any contact lens wearer will probably relate, I wore them all the time, every day, for almost like 16 hours a day. It's not that good, but I also was tolerating them really well. But what they don't tell you is that with time you do develop some contact lens intolerance. So that's what happened with me. In 2020, I started getting really uncomfortable with my contact lenses. So upon consultation we thought it was allergies. We tried switching contacts and this and that, but still what was most comfortable for me was to not wear them for extended periods of time. So in 2020, I started wearing contacts only maybe once or twice a week only. And then with time, I could only wear them for really like 4 hours at a time. So since 2020, every time you see me like this, I was probably wearing contacts for a very limited amount of hours during the day. So what surgery did I get? I got ICL surgery, and this is implantable collamer lens. It's different from LASIK, and the reason why I didn't get LASIK is that I wasn't eligible. The reason why I waited until now to get surgery was because my prescription didn't stabilize, and they don't really advise you to get any sort of surgery, whether it be LASIK or ICL, until your prescription is pretty stable, because they don't want to do a surgery and then your myopia progresses or your eye condition progresses and then you're stuck doing further corrections. I waited until my mid-30s, and right now my condition did stabilize, but then I got pregnant and then I was breastfeeding, so it was never a really good time for surgery until now. As soon as I weaned off breastfeeding with Oasis, I scheduled a consultation with this clinic in Montreal. It's called Cliniques Michel Pop. They're really avant-garde in their surgery methods, and this surgeon is really world renowned, so I really trusted him. He's been recommended by a lot of people in my life and by professionals around the area here, so I felt like I could really trust him. When I went for the consultation, I wasn't eligible for LASIK because laser correction is really like they open a flap, and excuse my terminology, I'm probably not using the right terms, but they cut like a flap off your eye, and then they do a laser correction on the eye, and then that consists of like shaving off layers of your cornea, I believe. Since my myopia was pretty advanced, they would have to shave off so many layers that it would leave my eye really thin. And so at this clinic, they suggest that when you're a -4 or -5, they immediately suggest going for ICL. ICL is an implantable collamer lens, and what it is basically is a contact lens implant in your eye. And I think that's so cool because although it seems more invasive and it is more expensive, it is reversible. So there's no damage or there's no corrections done on my eye at all. My eye is still intact. How this surgery works is that they do a little incision on the side of your eye, and then they roll up the lens really small, they insert it in, and then the lens literally unfolds in your eye. It is so cool. I really think it's amazing. This is based off of cataract surgery. They've been doing that for many years, and so now they do this for corrective eye surgery as well. My concern was always, what if my myopia progresses? What if later my vision changes, etc.? At this clinic, they do have a lifetime warranty of the procedure you are getting done. So in my case, it would be hypermyopia with this ICL. So let's say my myopia progresses a little bit within the next few years. They really don't think it's going to progress over like a -1. So if I want a further correction, they could do a minor laser correction at that point, but that would be so minor that it wouldn't really affect the eye condition and the eye health itself. And then later on, if you get older and with the natural and degeneration of the eye, I start losing vision from close. In that case, they'd say I could either start wearing glasses just to read up close, or if I want, I can change the lens that's in my eye altogether and change it for a trifocal lens, which I think is really cool. So I like the fact that it's flexible, that it's not permanent, and that you have options as well. Question that comes back is that, is there any pain? I really was super stressed out about the pain because I've been dealing with dry eyes for the past year, because with extended contact lens wear and with allergies, you really get a lot of dry eyes. And for me, I consider myself a hyper blinker. Just with the thought of them holding my eye open during that surgery, I was like, my eye is gonna dry out. And that was my biggest concern. I don't know why I thought that was my biggest concern. And they were like, we're gonna insert drops and we're just gonna irrigate the eye all the time. But I'm like, what if my eye dries out? Like I blink all the time, and that was my biggest concern. And of course, leading up to it, I was so excited to finally be able to see without glasses and contacts. But as the surgery date approached, and when we were like 1 week out, I got like super stressed out. The night before, I was super stressed out, but honestly, it was way less bad than I expected. It was so quick, it was so easy, it was so painless. Honestly, it's really, really painless, I swear. So what they do on the surgery day is that I got to the clinic at 6:45 a.m. and then they do your pre-op check-in. They do vital signs, they start dilating your eyes because your pupils have to be really, really big for the surgery. So that would be the most uncomfortable part, I would say. So they start dilating your eyes, and when you're ready, they give you a calming medication. For us at the clinic, it was Ativan. It was really funny because there was 3 of us at the pre-op, and my eyes dilated the fastest, so they picked me to go for the surgery first. But I had just taken the calming medication like 10 minutes prior, so I really don't think that it had kicked in at that point. So in retrospect, maybe I would have skipped the medication. But yeah, after they dilate the pupils, they start putting numbing drops, and then you really get into a pre-op outfit. So I was wearing a gown, and then they lay you down, they really put like a blue sheet over your face, they put the eye stretchers, they put other numbing drops, and then they start the surgery. The most uncomfortable part is the blinding light that they put over your eye, because the surgeon is doing the surgery with a microscope basically. So it has a really, really bright eye, and I was afraid I would see things, but you don't see anything because all you see is that blinding light on your eye. And mind you, your pupil is really big and you have a bright shining light on your eye, so that was the most uncomfortable part. But you don't feel any pain at all. The numbing drops really do work super well. You don't feel anything. I would say you feel a bit of pressure, especially when the lens inserted in your eye, it unfolds, but no pain at all. Even afterwards, I really don't think it was painful. When the numbing drops wore off, I didn't have pain on my eye, but do keep in mind that you have to follow the aftercare very well. Does it work for astigmatist eye as well? Yes, it does. So I would highly suggest that you go to a clinic that's able to do LASIK and ICL, and just to see the difference between the 2 surgeries, and then you can assess what is the best solution for you, and really do weigh the pros and cons of both surgeries. What is the aftercare? So the aftercare for me at the clinic was that I had to sleep with these eye shields the first night, and then I have eye drops to follow for the next few months. There's one eye drop it's antibacterial, one bottle of eye drops that is anti-inflammatory, and then hydrating drops. Antibiotic drops is to use for 10 days, the anti-inflammatory is to use for 4 weeks, and each week you go gradually down, and then the hydrating eye drops is to use for 3 to 4 months. But honestly, I use hydrating eye drops like 4, 5, 6, up to like 8 times a day. Like almost every hour I'm gonna hydrate my eyeballs, so you know, you can never hydrate your eyeballs enough, if you ask me. So they say you should sleep with these eye shields just for the first night, but I'm on day 5 post-op and I'm still wearing them just in case. Herky and Milton do sleep on the bed, so just to prevent some debris in the eyes, I do sleep with these in case. They also say to not rub your eyes, no eye makeup, no direct water on your eyes, so I've been avoiding all of that. They do really specify all the things that you can and cannot do post-surgery, but honestly, I could see 12 hours post-op, I could see everything. That's what's really cool about ICL versus LASIK, is that I could see like everything. Apparently with LASIK, you gradually see more and more, but for me, that night, like after my pupils got back to their normal size, I could see everything. It was really cool, and then the next day, it was like clear as day. And I feel like the recovery for ICL was a lot less bad than for LASIK. Apparently with LASIK you get really sensitive eyes because they do a procedure on the surface of the eye, so there's more irritation, you're sensitive to light, but for me it was fine. What you can expect afterwards is that the halos around the lights, especially at night, like right now if I look out the window I do see some halos, but at night it's more noticeable because the light is bright and then the background is dark. So you do kind of see some halos. It doesn't really bother me, but for some people it might bother you, so you can be more careful with that. I do try to limit my screen time a bit to let my eyes rest. I do wear some sunglasses more often, even indoors when there's a lot of like screens and like there's a TV on. I'm gonna put some sunglasses on just to protect my eyes. So that's what you can expect from the surgery. I would say the timeline between my initial consultation and the operation was 2 months, just because I did everything as quick as I could considering our schedule. I got my first initial consultation in March, and then I immediately booked my pre-op consultation, and then there was a few pre-op consultations to do because they have to do extensive tests to measure your eyes, to see the exact shape of your eyes. They have to order the custom lens. So that was another appointment I had to go in for the doctor to measure my eye. So you have a couple of pre-op consultations, and then it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for them to order the custom lens and then the surgery. So it was almost like exactly 2 months between the two for me. And then after the procedure you can expect a follow-up on the next day. So I had my follow-up the next day and everything was good. I have a follow-up in about a month time, so about 4 to 6 weeks post-op they want to see you again, and then another follow-up in 1 year. Question that comes back a lot is how much it was. So my surgery was $7,000 for both eyes. I think this is on the higher end of the ICL surgeries because my prescription was higher. I think for astigmatism it would be on the higher end as well, but I definitely really recommend this. It's so life-changing. This is the first time in like 30 years that I can wake up and see without glasses or contacts. It's so crazy. Waking up in the middle of the night, waking up in the morning without reaching for glasses and just being able to see is crazy. I'm just 5 days post-op. I still feel like I'm wearing contacts all the time and that I forget to take them off, if that makes sense. Like I feel like my eyes are still recovering. They're still dry from excessively wearing contact lenses for years and years, so I still feel like I have that little discomfort. You don't have glasses anymore, so you feel your eyeballs a bit more. It was expected. So I do feel like more wind on my eyes, so I feel like they're a bit dry, but it's nothing like LASIK. LASIK apparently really causes dry eyes, so that's something to consider. Anyways, I hope I answered all the questions. I hope I inspire some of you to at least get a consultation for the eyes. It's really not as bad as you can think, and it's really life-changing. Like the pros and cons. If you're afraid of just the pain, think about what you can have as a life afterwards. Like it's so freeing. I feel so much more free playing with Oasis, knowing that I don't have glasses that he can knock over, because he always used to knock them over and like bend them. So I needed adjustments all the time. And mind you, with glasses that are like -11, it is so heavy and there's so much glare and it's heavy on the nose, and with the summer and the sweat it's just so annoying, and in the winter you just fog up all the time, and it's really a handicap because when you travel or when you go here and there and let's say something happens to your glasses, you're literally blind. So I always used to travel with 2 pairs of glasses. It's just really intense. So I highly recommend you guys check this out. It's really life-changing. I can't wait to live my really best life without glasses for the next, hopefully 15 years before I need any sort of correction. So if you guys have any other questions, if you have done this surgery before or any sort of corrective surgery, please do share your story and your comments with us below. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye!